Yes. All right. Here we are. Welcome to the live stream. Hang on, let's get rid of that. There we go. How are you doing? And the music can stop already. Thank you. Stop. Where's that music coming from? There we are. Oh, hang on. Let me turn. I can hear myself. Mute. There we go. I had to mute myself on one or the other. In fact, hang on one second. I'm hearing myself multiple times. That's terrible. There we go. Okay, now I've muted myself because I have Facebook open and YouTube open, and they were all playing back to me what I just said at different times because there's a delay in the system. Anyway, welcome to my little live stream. Thank you for tuning in. I see a whole bunch of you are commenting already on both Facebook and I suspect possibly YouTube. Just let me know, just so I can see where you're all coming in from. If you could tell me where you're watching from, as in what platform, and then I know that things are working for you guys. So if you could I'll just give you guys a few seconds to comment, and then I'll know that we're working well here. So yeah, the sound was my issue. I had it all turned up on all my different devices here. So let's have a look. So we got Facebook from Mark. Facebook. Probably most of you. I think I put it up onto 3 of my Facebook channels. Most of you will probably be watching from my main Facebook, I suspect. Stoke-on-Trent. I didn't know that was a social media platform. There we go. Cornwall Facebook. Wow. Okay. So anyway, well, we got a whole bunch of you. I'll try and keep up with everyone, but at least it's working, I guess. It is broadcasting on my YouTube channel as well, but I don't know if anyone's watching from there, which is fine. Looks like pretty well everyone's Facebook, which is good. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these, hasn't it? A few months, I think, at least. But I know people keep telling me how much they love these things. And, yeah, I need to do more. So I've sort of changed up my setup a little bit here. Upgraded my lighting just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, lots of nice things from people. Now, I've forgotten how to put comments up on a screen. How do I do that? There is a way to do that, and I can't remember now. So I need to do my homework, don't I? They've changed the software, and I have no idea how to do that anymore. That's okay. Next time. So, okay, well, guess what, peeps? We have not one, but 2 guests today, okay? So, the first guest needs no introduction, except when he's at the grocery store and nobody knows who on earth he is, in which case they announce him over the tannoys and stuff. Probably because he's knocked everything over in one of the aisles, and they want to humiliate him. But anyway, let's give it up for Dave Barclay. Hey, you're on.
Hey, Mike. Hey, good to see you, everyone. Excellent.
So, thank you. Yes. So, so for those of you who may or may not know, sorry, just sorting out my second guest here. Yeah, Dave, it was the main Jabba the Hutt guy, and main puppeteer for Roger Rabbit, and we worked together on Little Shop of Horrors. He assisted with Yoda, and did more than that. He helped with the construction on both Empire and Jedi. And what else? Dave is a primo puppet designer, builder, animatronics guy, sculptor, performer. I don't know. Oh, and there's Mike Edmonds too. Hey, hello. Like I pushed the wrong button. We're having trouble with Mike's audio, I'm afraid. But in fact, let me just go to Mike anyway, because I hit the wrong button. But anyway, here's Mike Edmonds, who you all know as being not only a Star Wars superstar, but my goodness me, Augur in Dark Crystal, one of the Time Bandits. I mean, one of the best films ever made. Superstar of pop music, pop videos, right? And oh my goodness me, what else am I? There's like a million and one things, but also an Ewok, an Ugnaught, Jabba's tail, like the most famous thing of all, and there's a whole bunch of other things, right? So I don't know why sorry we can't hear Mike, but at least Roger Rabbit. Mike was in Roger Rabbit too, which is quite appropriate because he can't speak right now, and that was the character you played in Roger Rabbit too, wasn't it? No, that was Paul Springer, right? That was Paul Springer.
That was Paul Springer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. So, but anyway, it's good to see you, Mike. It would be lovely to hear you. But you know what? This is the quietest you've ever been. Like we can say anything we like, and you can't answer. Yeah. You can't answer back. So we're terribly sorry about that. It's good to see you, chaps. Though. Oh my goodness, yeah. Must get a new ear put on this hearing aid. But So oh my goodness me. So we go back to 80, 81, well 80 really, when we started rehearsing for Dark Crystal, the three of us.
Yeah. Actually, in fact, I think all three of us, we all first met in 1980 on the Dark Crystal.
Yeah. When we were doing like rehearsals and fittings and building and all that kind of stuff. And of course, many of you know Mike Edmonds was the walk around Augur, where you see a fully head to toe running and jumping and cartwheeling and squatting and all those wonderful things. Now, it's funny, Mike, I always remember the time you took me to meet George Harrison. I don't know if you remember that. It's like, that was amazing. That was, I mean, had that not happened, I never would have had the chance. That was before he died, by the way, which helps. Yeah. So thank you for that. So now, before we move on to other things, it might be worth telling everyone before they all get bored and leave that you folks will be appearing in London together. No, not London, in Birmingham together soon. So tell us about that, Dave, if you can.
Yes, well, we do. Mike and I and some of the other Jabba puppeteers like Toby Philpott, Richard Padbury, John Coppinger. We're going to be at the Birmingham NEC Centre, and I think that's the 3rd and 4th of September, if I remember rightly. Or is it 4th and 5th? Yeah, that first weekend of September.
And it is 2 days or 3? 2 probably.
Yes, 2 days, Saturday and Sunday.
One for Mike.
One for Mike, okay.
Yeah, Mike's coming on Monday after everyone's left. He's got to sweep. He's got to sweep up. He's got to clean the floor.
Up, yeah. I think Toby's just doing one day as well on the Saturday. So and they've booked me for Saturday and Sunday. So
fantastic. So Oh, that's great. I'm sorry I can't be there. I'll be in Orlando, I think, Florida. Sadly. But I mean, happily, but sadly too. I mean, it would have been great to hang out with you chaps and share a jar or 10.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So, and that's is that what's the name of that show?
I think it's Collectomania.
Yeah,
it's one of the Jason Joyner's Showmaster shows, I believe. Yeah. So, Mania. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that'll be a great event. So,
first for me in Birmingham.
Yeah.
So,
I did one show there 4 years ago or 5 years or whatever, and it was great. It was really fun. Lots of great guests, and it was just a really had loads of Doctor Who's and Game of Thrones people, and it was a long line of people. But it was really fun, including the woman who was the model for the swimmer in the Jaws poster, where she's like under the water and there's sharks on top.
Right, okay.
So she was there, and she also was one of the underwater swimmers in the Great Muppet Caper for the Miss Piggy scene. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That's really weird. So there you go.
Great.
And if I'm not getting confused, she also owned a sort of an animal place which happened to record the bear sound effect for Chewbacca. If I'm not mixing her up with someone
Oh,
else. I know, yeah,
wow, I did.
great. You guys
Yeah.
will correct me in the chats, I'm sure. Yeah,
Hmm.
sorry guys. Just for those of you just tuning in, yeah, we can't hear Mike, and he knows that. There's just some issue. It could be that I actually turned him off so that he couldn't say anything, but it might not be that at all. It might just be some gremlin, or he's lost his
Yeah.
voice, because he's been up
Yeah.
all night singing karaoke, which is Mike's want
Yeah.
sometimes.
That's his
Um,
normal
yeah,
evening. Yes.
yeah, men without
So,
hats and all that kind of stuff.
yeah. Right. And
So.
hats without men.
Yes, lots of those. So let's see. Oh my goodness me. Is there anything you guys can tell us you've been up to at all, except for Mike, especially Mike? In fact, Mike is now
Yes,
going to mime to us and tell us exactly what he's been doing.
yes. There we go.
Not embarrassing at all, this is it. He's going to do shadow puppets for us now, and
Yeah.
oh man, Mike, it's so good to see you. Oh,
It is. It's really good to see you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you in a
yeah,
couple of weeks.
and hearing
So
him
that'll be.
too. See if he actually does talk.
Well, I'm not sure about that. This is quite nice, isn't it?
Maybe he's got a pull string in his back and it broke. Like Woody. And but Mike is brilliant. Mike is such a great actor and a lovely gentleman, and always great to work with, and super talented. And it's been wonderful working with you, and I hope to do it again sometime.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
you, Dave? Do you have any? I'll let Mike off the hook for a minute so he can relax. Anything you can tell us that you've been up to lately? And
Recently, I worked on a film for Warner Brothers. It's a
ooh,
live action animation hybrid, sort of like a bit like Roger Rabbit, where they're animated characters. And I was there for all the animated character reference. It will all the work I did will be replaced by fantastic animation by a great team of animators. But that was the early part of this year in Albuquerque. And one of the nice things is I met up with old friends of mine and yours too, Mike, and Mike Edmonds, the McCormicks, Mike,
yeah.
Linda, and Sean McCormick. They live in Albuquerque, and so I got to meet up with them. Hadn't seen them for probably 30 years, I would have thought. So it was
Yeah,
great thing too.
yeah. My goodness me. Well, for those of you who don't know, they worked on the Dark Crystal, and let's see. They each did something different, though, didn't they? Right, as I recall.
Yes, yeah. Linda was in charge of all like ordering and office stuff. Sean went into the mold making
The
department,
Sun,
and
yeah.
Mike, yeah, that's the son, and doing some foams on Labyrinth and that sort of thing. And I think he did some foams on Return of the Jedi as well.
Wow.
And
Okay.
Mike went over to ILM to work in the creature shop for the ILM creature shop building. He and Tony McVeigh built Salacious Crumb.
Yes, that's right. That's right. But on Dark Crystal, what was it Mike was doing?
He was mainly the Skeksis, and he did all the Skeksis backplates.
That's right. Yes, all
All
those.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Of
yeah.
which
So he,
wasn't Mike was one of. You were a Skeksis too, weren't you? Did you? Yeah, he did. Okay, I can't remember what character you were. Which Skeksis you did, but one of the 11 or 7 or 9 or however many there were of us. Yeah, no, you weren't mine. I wish you were, but you weren't. You weren't my Skeksis. Uh, yeah, my goodness me. So now, and of course, Mike McCormick went on to do. He used to do Punch and Judy as well, didn't he?
that's right. That's how he started. He and the family were touring Europe with some puppet shows and planning on going back to Albuquerque, and then stumbled across the invitation to work on Dark Crystal, and then that changed their lives for about 5 years. They lived in England for the longest
Yeah,
time. So
yeah. Oh, that must have been really nice, though. So, do you know yet when we might see this new film? Obviously, it'll be 23, right?
yes, it'll be out about this time next year, and it's
Mm.
called Coyote versus Acme. So it's Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. So I think it's going to be a really fun movie. So
I wonder who's going to win. Hmm.
I wonder. I actually don't know.
Ah,
We'll see.
brilliant.
We'll see how it edits.
Well, that's great.
Very
My
often
goodness
in
me.
these things,
So,
they leave things open so they can see how they want to go. So I don't think anyone's entirely sure how it's going to finish, but we'll see.
that's great. That's really good. Um, but yeah, you just basically did an entire movie. I mean, that's
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah,
So,
that was really nice. Yes, and it was I was a single person department of one.
yeah.
So yeah, we didn't need any more than me in this film, so that was it. So I had a blast. Everyone was wonderful. The director is fantastic, you know, and worked again with a good old friend, Christopher, who's the producer, and it's just been it was a
So,
wonderful experience.
were any of the landscapes like in any of the cartoons? I mean, that's not really Albuquerque, is it? Though in Roadrunner cartoons,
No, I think it
yeah,
is. I mean, there's because Bugs Bunny says yes. There's a sign to go to Albuquerque, so
right.
it's very much the same flavour of desert. So yeah, we actually went out into the Albuquerque desert and filmed some stuff. So
All right. Did
but it
you
was wonderful.
in the middle of the night? Did you like creep out onto to like the side of a rock and paint a roadway on there to see if anyone would drive into it?
No, no, I never got to that far.
Someone would have fallen for it. Did you see any roadrunners
Yeah.
out there?
No, but other people did, but they saw a lot of coyotes. And in fact,
Oh,
when I came back here to Burbank, Pat and I were driving through Griffith Park, and then this coyote appears, runs across a crossing, yeah, for a pedestrian crossing, and runs off into the park. Very just straightforward and matter of fact. It was really weird. It's like, oh well, there you go, Mr. Coyote. So
oh no! And he probably had his he's running from a falling piano or an anvil or something. No doubt,
probably,
no
yeah,
doubt.
yeah.
But yeah, that's not our first encounter with Acme, is it? Really? Of course, because
No,
of Roger Rabbit,
yeah.
which we all
And
worked on.
we all worked on as
Yeah.
well, yeah. And yes, so yeah, that was we started filming that beginning in 1987. So it
Yeah.
was a few
Yes.
weeks ago. Yeah,
Oh, what an amazing classic film that can never. It was that perfect storm in that just that one period of time. Like a few years earlier or a few years later, it probably couldn't have been made or might not have been the film that it was, right? Because of technology and trends and
hmm
budgets and
yes, I think it
things.
was one of the very last films of that sort of high um, complexity to be done optically printed before they went into computer compositing. So it was all done in the old-fashioned style. So there was no computer work whatsoever on Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
So
yeah. They did
which is why
some. Yeah, there's no 3D, no CG as such. There was some rendering they did, wasn't there? Where I guess they had like images that they kind of, I don't know what they did. There's some matching and rendering of images separate to our separate to toon stuff and separate to prop stuff. But I guess that was like some sort of post processing layered technique they were using.
I think that was for Jessica's dress to try and give it some more realistic look. But it was more of just a
Sparkles.
2D
Yeah,
mesh
yeah,
move
yeah,
rather than
right. Yeah,
the sort of CG that you would
yeah.
do today. And of course, all the animation was completely hand drawn, and all the shadows were hand painted. So it's like
Madness.
no computer work at all.
Yeah, yeah. Remember, I was going to that. Was it Camden Town, the animation studio? Uh,
Yes.
yeah, and seeing Richard Williams and his gang
Mhm.
working away on, was it 300 floors of animation desks and inks and paints, and I mean that.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was like the end of an era, really, wasn't it? But
I think it probably was. Yeah, I don't think they've done any kind of like production quite to that level ever since. So.
great work, great work. So let's see. So anyway, I mean, we can talk about all kinds of things forever, and we can even, except for Mike, who can't talk about anything at all. But his career speaks for him, so it's okay. um, so a couple of things. Now, in a little bit, we're going to do a giveaway competition, okay? And nobody yet knows what it is, except me. And I haven't yet figured out how we want to do this, but it's just a little something for a bit of fun. But first, Oh yeah, let's go back to you three guys again. So we filmed Return of the Jedi, right?
Hmm.
And then we all went
Yeah.
home and we all had fish and chips or whatever we did. Oh, maybe that was just me. Um, but then we did this photo shoot in Dave's back garden, right? And was that just after filming, or was it the next year? I'm trying to remember because we finished in '82, didn't we? We finished like the
Yeah.
summer of '82. Um, but it must have
I think
been
it was 3. I think it was just before
the release.
the film was going to be released. So they were looking for publicity and sort of newspaper and magazine articles. So
Okay, yeah. So basically, there was. I guess we were interviewed for People magazine, right? Um,
yes,
and it was, I guess, wasn't it a smaller part of a larger Jedi piece in the magazine? I think, and we were like one little part of it. Maybe I have it somewhere. But that interview
right, yeah.
sort of, I guess, there was a couple of passages that remained of that, but they never used the photo stills on that. However, these pictures have never been seen before that we took, and let's see, this is one of them. Right, now look at that, eh? Now we are, I think those are Bosk's feet, hands, and head. I do believe.
Mm.
And yeah, so that was one picture. And I think we were all told to be crazy and wacky and mad.
Yes,
And
Paul Silly Faces and Roar, and
I suppose so. He
we
probably
did
took
a whole
a,
load.
yeah, he
Yeah, we
must
did
have,
a massive roll of them. But this is
yeah,
these are the ones they used.
that they,
That's
yeah,
the
that they
fun.
gave us. Yeah. Um,
One.
but the second picture, which I thought was just, hang on, there we go. There we go, fly out. The second picture, which I thought was just a bit better of all three of us,
Mm-hmm.
Mike and Dave kindly agreed to sign for us all and for me. So, and this is what it looks like. So, and it's nice because it's got Mike representing the tail, because
Yeah.
you know that's a Mike thing there, and so parts of Bosk and some mysterious tale that we don't quite know what it's from. Maybe somebody out there in Webland will know. Oh, that's the tale from such and such thingy, or some dragon, or I don't know. We don't know what that's. But Dave, you reckon that might be from like Stuart Freeborn's workshop or something?
Yes, yeah, I think that's what they did. They got in because they were also doing an interview with Stuart, so I think they asked for some creature things for us. So yeah,
Yeah,
they all from Stuart's lab. So it's possible that that tale's not even from Star Wars. I don't know. It probably
yeah,
was, but it might have been from some other production. Because a lot of
something.
the early Cantina masks were reused masks from different productions that he had left over. He then added different textures and painted over and changed. So yeah, so I think that's how Greedo came about. So
Yeah, I,
there was a
I,
whole batch of stuff there.
I think I remember Phil Tippett saying that a few of the masks came from the US, and it might have even been Greedo was from an American pea commercial, as
Yes.
in
Yeah,
green peas, not the other kind of pea.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh,
Stuart,
and it,
that's
it
in
and it had
a
been
few years.
like recovered, reworked, and changed
Mhm.
and stuff. But that might have originally been a Rick Baker mask, is what I'm thinking. I don't know if that sounds right.
No, I think it's
No.
Stuart. I'm
Oh, it
pretty sure
wasn't.
it was in
Okay.
his lab. Yeah, because
Yeah.
when I was working on Empire, they were there up in on the shelves, and
Okay.
they were separate to Jedi. So it was definitely he was obviously pre Jedi, and I think it was from Stuart's lab. So yeah, because there was a number of the different masks and different characters that Stuart had repurposed because they suddenly right we need so many people for the cantina sequence, and he didn't have time to make every single thing, so he repurposed old characters and adjusted them. So
Yeah. Where am I getting that there was some Rick Baker had something to do with some early stuff in the cantina? I don't know.
oh yes, no, he
Oh, he
did. He
did.
did a whole load of yeah,
That's where I'm getting
yeah,
that from. Then okay, he did
yeah.
some I guess some of the earlier makeup or more prosthetic kind of things
Makeup,
maybe.
yeah, and there's one that's sort of like got sort of almost Deadly Horns kind of thing in there. I can't
Oh
remember the name
yeah,
of the characters, but no, he
yeah.
did a whole series
Devilly
for.
Horn dude. That was a woman actually, wasn't it? In that makeup, I think, as I
I
recall.
think so, yeah. And
So,
also, I think he might have done the actual Cantina musicians. I think that might have been Rick, but I'm the wrong person to ask because I was really sort of
oh
more
yeah,
interested in the studio
yeah,
stuff.
and that was of course
So
before any of us were born. So the first Star Wars movie.
yeah,
We weren't born yet then. So, but you two guys have something over me because you both worked on Empire Strikes Back, which is also one of the best films ever made in the entire universe. So
mm,
yeah, which is amazing. So anyway, let me just come back to here and let you guys know about this thing here. So if you go here, look at that. As if by magic, there's a URL that magically pops up and tells you where to go. I counted them yesterday, and I still counted 100 of these puppies. That's all we've signed. That's all I had printed was 100. I didn't do any spares, and every single one has been signed by all three of us. I've started packing some in envelopes already. So if you go here, you'll be able to buy them for about the next week. After that, I'm probably going to need to turn it off because I'm going to be away for like 5 or 6 weeks for the most part, traveling around again doing shows. So if you guys want this really ridiculous picture of us all together signed on one image, I mean, it's a good deal. It's a steal, and it's in pounds. It's £75, which is something like $90 ish or something like that. But you're getting all three of us, and it's a picture that is very rare and won't really be kicking around very much. So have at it, enjoy if you like that sort of thing. Right?
definitely. Yeah.
So let's
It's a
see.
great. It's so fun seeing it again. It's like suddenly
It's
transported back
yeah,
to
it's
those days of
yeah. I don't know who
youth.
those three handsome gentlemen were, but they slightly resemble us, don't they? Not
Yes,
not as
slightly. Yeah.
not as good looking as us three now, I will add, but still they could be related to us distantly, you know, from the
May have.
1800s. Oh my goodness me! So let's see
Because I
what
think
else. Yeah,
you and I, Mike, were working. I think we were just doing some initial Fraggle Rocks for Henson at that time.
the
I
very
think.
first stuff that actually does sound right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
might be right. So we were delving into that a little bit after Jedi.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 83 would be about right, wouldn't it? The
Think so.
UK stuff
Mhm.
initially, UK co-productions, and
Yeah.
yeah. So let's see. Well, let me see if I can find this thing here. Let's go back to me. Let's turn that. Okay, well there you go. Write it down. Take a screenshot. I'll show it to you again one more time before we all run away. But let me lose that for now. And so let's talk about this little giveaway that I'm doing. I may or may not have worked on Andor the series, and I may or may not have acquired a patch and a sticker that was from the crew. And the show was, had its code name Pilgrim, Creature Effects Crew, Pinewood 2020 and 21. And the item at the top is a patch. An item at the bottom is a sticker. And this is what I'm giving away. And in fact, here they are, just so you can see the actual size of them. If I can get hold of it, come on. So that's the sticker itself. Oh, hello, it's just giving away my secrets here. There it is, sticker, and the patch. There it is. So it's actually an embroidered patch, so you can, most people sew them on rather than iron them on. But people don't have these things, so we've got to figure out how to do this giveaway. That's why I wanted to make sure that I'm seeing everybody's comments okay on all the different streams It does seem like most people are just on Facebook. Um, so assuming that I can see nearly everybody's comments, and apologies to those who can't, let's go back to us. Now, I don't know if Dave has a really difficult question or not, perhaps to ask, and we'll see who the first correct answer is.
Right. Well, I could come up with something. Okay. Well, I've been talking about Stuart Freeborn. But Stuart had two family members also work on the original trilogy.
Good one.
Can you name either of two of Stuart Freeborn's family members who worked in the same department on Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi?
I'm going to watch the chat. There's a delay in the chat, folks, so bear with us. 20 seconds. I think I know the answer. Am I allowed to play? I'm not allowed to play, am I? So let's see. I'm watching.
Well,
Okay, we've got one name. Who's the first person to get two? No, not Wendy. Who's the first one to get two? Let's see. Looking. I'm watching. Everyone's Googling it now. Who's fastest on the Google?
I see. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, it looks like we have. Well, here's the thing. Do I do the first person to get both names or the first? Because somebody just said one name. So what do I? It has to be the first person who says both, doesn't it? Do you think?
Yes, I don't think I was absolutely specific about that, was I? No, sorry about that.
Well,
probably both names would probably be
the first person to mention both names looks like it's Mark Williamson. So even though Dorian did say Graham, and everyone else said K. So Dorian was correct, but you have to say both names, and I guess that's so. All right, so the prize goes to Mark. Congratulations, Mark, and maybe I'll send Dorian a consolation prize. How about that? So I know where you live, so yes, Mark. Just make sure I've got your address. I probably have it somewhere already. And Dorian, I'll sort you something out as well, because you were sort of a close second, really. You were the first person to mention her name. Everyone else had said his name, I should say. Everyone else had said K. So we sort of have a 1.5 winner here, which is great. Well, congratulations. So I'll sort those out for you. And there we have it. My goodness me. That's fantastic. So what else can we talk about now? Let's have a look. See if does anyone in chat have anything they need to ask these wonderful, talented gentlemen while we still have them. And Mike will do a flick book of his answer for us. He'll sketch it out. So everyone's congratulating the winners and stuff. That's very kind, very nice. Thank you for that, everybody. So let's see. We have someone who's an unknown user saying favorite memories from Roger Rabbit. Well, I can speak for Mike, of course. His favorite memory working with Roger Rabbit was working with us, of course. Is that correct, Mike? He can't really. You can always shake his head, but let's see. And blooper moments from Empire Strikes Back. Yes, Mike was in Time Bandits. He was the funny one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Og, yes.
Og.
It was Og and then Ogra. So it's like
Ogra.
yeah, I know. It's like how comes he keeps getting cast with a similar sounding name? I remember Mike saying. So.
Typecasting.
Typecasting.
Yeah. Let's see. And also, so we're asking about memories from Roger Rabbit. Someone asked about bloopers from Star Wars. Someone else is asking about your contribution to Yoda. So there's a few choices there. Pick an answer. Pick a question, I should say.
All right. Yeah. Well, just actually working on Roger Rabbit was one of the highlights, because I had a call from Robert Watts, who produced the Star Wars film, saying there might be a day or two for me on Roger Rabbit. So I went in to meet George Gibbs, the special effects supervisor, and he said they're having some problems how to work out to move the props that the octopus bartender needed to move. And and he said, here's a picture, and he said, you can go away and come back and tell me how you would do it using puppet effects, like with strings and rods. And I said, well, I can tell you right now, do this. And he said, all right, well, here's a script. Go through the script and see what you can do with puppet effects. And because of that, we got to be on the film every single day for the entire production, team of 6 at the minimum. And we had up to 17 puppeteers working on the big sequences. So it was, and Bob Zemeckis and Bob Hoskins were just amazing people to work with. They were fantastic. So it was a truly delightful and happy and superb set to be on. So it was one of my true highlights.
Yeah, I'll never forget, Mike in the terminal bar there being squished by Judge Doom. I mean, a great shot, a great moment. Terrifying. It's really good stuff. So never get tired watching that.
Too, wasn't he? So
yeah, they're all good. Like I say, yeah, both Bobs were fantastic. Let's see what else is. Someone, Janice, is asking, what was your most challenging puppet role based on difficult positions?
Wow. Well, you go with that then, Mike. So because I think we've had a few difficult ones, but I would have thought one of the recent ones would be
one I brought up at the Chicago Q&A that you and I did was the washing machine commercial, where I was inside the washing machine on a pole arm doing lip sync at the front in Dutch. That was difficult, but actually one of the hardest things I've ever had to do that I can recall is being inside this lion costume for Colosseum, which is on the History Channel at the moment. I did the main introductory scene, and it was just too physically hard for me, and we had to call in Mossin, UK performer, puppeteer, and suit guy who was able to do it perfectly. And then I could focus on the dressing and the animatronics on the outside. But we were out in the Moroccan desert in the sun, and long takes, and it about killed me. So that was my hardest thing ever. I think Mike's done some hard stuff. What about being in that damn pig thing in Time Bandits? That's got to be one of your hardest things, surely. And don't call him Shirley. See, it's not. You can't hear that Mike Edmonds laugh, that classic laugh that he has. You can't hear that. I'm going to need to make a recording of it so I can just hit the button every time you laugh. Right? That's what I'm going to do next time. But that must have been one of the hottest, and that's maybe Dark Crystal too. And I don't know. You've done so much stuff though, Mike. And of course, Mike, let's not forget, has done a lot of live stage productions as well. And I believe some of your stuff's been in Flemish too. Is that right? Yeah. So I mean, how on earth I don't know. Yeah. So Mike's an accomplished stage performer as well. He's got us all beat easily. I mean, yeah, he can run rings around both Dave and I put together. So, so I'll just speak for you, basically. What about you, Dave? Anything comes to mind, or?
Not particularly. I've been pretty lucky. I mean, Jabba could have been really difficult, but he was all self-supporting, and but probably the creature that to this day I'm still having issues with the early stages of the Gartham. For Dark Crystal, I was about 20, and I was the young stupid guy going in and trying to see how it worked and performing. And it was originally just a hip harness. That's all it was. And when I did this big move, it hit my lower back, and I had sciatic pain shoot down my right foot. And that took about a year and a half to clear after that. So that was that's when I thought, oh no, I have to be a little careful. I said, no, you need some shoulder support as well. We can't just have it on the hips. And so they did. They added shoulder support, so nobody else would get damaged that way. But that's kind of the catch with these brand new characters that no one's ever tried or built before. You never know what they're going to do to you till they do. So I mean, I think Ludo was pretty heavy for Ron Muick and Rob Mills. But again, with all the experience from Dark Crystal and the Star Wars films, trying to keep them as light and as flexible as possible.
Yeah. Actually, Hazel, my sister, is asking about what about Uncle Matt on the roller coaster?
Oh yes, Uncle Matt on the roller coaster. Yeah, well, because we were having to do in because I think there was an Uncle Matt in the roller coaster that Dave Gold's did in the US, and ours was in Blackpool
The
Pleasure
ghost
Beach.
train. That's right. It was a ghost train, wasn't it?
Ghost
Yeah.
Train, which was like the really cheap and cheesy version of the American super roller coaster. But it was really weird when you were going through. There's like a spinning tunnel that you go through, and that was really hard to keep focused and the trick of trying to me look around all happy and enjoying it and Matt being terrified because normally as a puppeteer you live through the character if the character's frowning or the character's happy, yeah, it usually reflects on the puppeteer's face, but doing with me sitting next to Matt I had to have a different performance to the puppet, and I found that really tough because I hadn't been a ventriloquist before, so I hadn't had to consider that.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Janice is asking. She's dying to hear about Time Bandit stories. We'll perhaps bring Mike back some other time when we can hear what he's saying. And let's see. Just doing scrolling through some comments here. Why were there no Robert asked why were there no subtitles for Nine Numb's comments? Because it was too obscene, and they just had to pretend he was saying something nice instead. Otherwise, the censors would have cut the scenes from the film. His dialogue wasn't even written. I had to write it all myself and speak in English. So I guess they felt it was redundant in a way, and perhaps he did have subtitles in the last film, though, for some strange reason. And he didn't really need that, I don't think. He should have spoken English after 30 years anyway. So that was my suggestion. But no, so I don't know. I guess they felt that, it was more fun just to hear him speak his language and have Lando reply, I assume. So, and Bastian asks, Mike, when did you last do the safety dance? Come on, this morning on your table, wasn't it? On your breakfast table. That doesn't sound very safe. I don't know. It's not. Oh, what was that? 10, 20, 20, and he went fishing.
Yeah.
and he caught 10 fish. Okay,
Yeah.
that's doesn't sound very safe at all, does it? Really? So let's see. Let me see what else. Octopus bartender. Yeah, Janice is talking about that. Favorite performance or performer that you still admired? Well, let's see. Frank Oz for one thing for me. Anyone else?
Yeah, well, Frank for sure, and we got to work with Alec Guinness, so that was great to meet him.
Wow!
And that was good. And I mean, just be like Bob Hoskins. I mean,
Yeah.
he was such a wonderful guy, great actor, and just a joy to be around. So yeah, we've been very lucky with the different actors. On this last film, I worked with Will Forte, and he is absolutely wonderful. One of the nicest human beings you can ever meet. So that was a real joy too. So yeah, it's great. It's great meeting actors who are really down to earth and friendly and nice.
Yeah. Hey, we got Don Austin in the house. Hi, Don. So
Hey, Don.
just scrolling up the timeline here, making sure I've missed. Sorry, I've missed for the guys. I've missed your comments and things, but I'm trying to keep one eye on that. Let's see. Has anyone had to use your voice? Had to use your voice for any of you guys? Had to use your we've used our own voices for things, if that's what you mean. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking. Let's see.
Typically in like TV, they don't want to go back and redub anything. So certainly all the UK TV that we've done over the years has always usually been our voices. And but often if we're doing a guide voice, you'll find that for a movie that you'll work out a delivery and a particular type of way of saying it and timing it and everything. And then you hear that the celebrity's done basically the exact match of what you did. So you could have done it yourself, but it now is a celebrity voice equivalent. So, but you can often make sure that the intent for the character and the delivery of the lines are right, even if you don't end up having the voice on the
Definitely, because
final product.
it affects the cadence of the visuals and everything like that for sure.
Mhm.
Let's see. Did Claire's asking? Did any of you work on Labyrinth? Dave and I did. Did Mike work on Labyrinth? No, Mike was busy doing something much more important, I think, at the time.
Mhm.
Otherwise, he definitely would have been on that. So I don't know what he was doing, but I'm sure it was something, you know, epic, because that's what Mike does. And then let's see. Mark is asking, how long are you in Jabba for filming? During filming. So I don't. Yeah, I guess you could either say how long were you in it at a time, or how long did it take to
Mhm.
film Jabba. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, well, I think it took about 5 weeks to film him overall. But yeah, we would get in at the start of the day, 8 a.m., and stay in there until lunchtime, get out
Mm.
for lunch, and back in after lunch until the end of the wrap. So we were basically in him all day long,
Yeah.
to the point where Toby and I came out towards the end of production, and because we would see all the different assistant directors, the ADs, and we would go up to them at the end of the day, because Jabba was done unusually like an hour before the end of the shoot. So we came up and said, "Oh, I think Jabba's done for the day." And he said, "Yeah, why don't you go and tell the Jabba performers that they can go?" And we said, "We are the Jabba performers." So people didn't see us. We were
Yeah.
inside all the time. So most of the people didn't even know who we were, because we were
Yeah.
inside Jabba the entire time.
That's right. Yeah, you're hardly ever out front. Nick asks,
No.
has there ever been a point where you've had to say no to a performance for safety reasons? Speaking of safety dance. Hmm.
Hmm. Mm, I'm trying to think of for
Hmm.
safety. Um, no, typically we do silly things like running on Roger Rabbit, running around Youngman's boards, which are 18-inch, um, like stretch pieces of wood without any guardrails. You wouldn't do that these days; they wouldn't allow you to do it. So we didn't fall off, which was handy. But and was bolted to the 60-foot ceiling, running around a custom-built circular marionette bridge with Jeff Felix for Baron Munchausen. And again, we could have easily fallen over. We couldn't put any kind of safety wires on us, because we were running in opposite directions and passing each other. So there was just no way of doing that. So we just had to be sensible that we weren't going to slip and fall 60 feet. So so maybe we should have said no, but we didn't. Also on Baron Munchausen, there was the Baron and Venus third scale robotic figures that were dancing, and they float up into the sky. For the miniature versions of that was put onto this huge scaffolding rig in Cinecittà in Italy, in Rome. And as we're going up there, some of the Italian crew are telling us stuff, but we don't speak Italian, so we go up and do all of that, get it all done, and they film it. Then we found out that we shouldn't have ever gone up there, because the scaffolding rig was condemned and could have fallen down at any point. So yeah, there's a few moments where it could have been pretty bad, but I think we got away with it.
Yeah, let's see. A few rapid fire ones here. Michael wants to know, how big was the puppet for the worm in Labyrinth?
It was there were two versions. One was a hand puppet, which so it would go over the hand and come back here, and so Karen did the front, I did the tail, and then there was a little actual tiny scale one, which was little tiny rods, that is the with little tiny sort of metal rods coming out that you could wiggle it, that it would look the right scale. So there was two versions, one really oversized version of the worm, and they made the set enormous. So they filmed that, and then sometimes that was actually composited and shrunk down and composited into the wide shot.
Yeah, and even the little one had a little tiny moving mouth, didn't it? I think a little
Yeah,
pull mouth.
tiny little string
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
What was I doing on the worm? Because I was there with you and Karen, and I was puppeteering something. I thought it was the tail, but maybe I'm remembering wrong, which is quite possible. Because they had
Yes.
the, she was doing the eyes herself.
She had the radio control in the front half, and I was in the tail.
So
So
what was I doing? Doing something.
maybe they. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
check
ask
with
Karen.
Karen. She would have.
She'll probably
Yeah.
remember. Oh my goodness me! Because we're going back nearly, what is it, 37 years? I think it is, or just over now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So terrible. Questions. Let's see. Any moments that were filmed that you were in that were edited out of a film? Pretty well, 99% of everything we've all shot has been edited out of films. except for Mike Edmonds, and they keep 100% of his stuff in because it's so genius. And he just does one take and leaves, you know. So everything of Mike's that he's ever shot has remained on camera and on screen. But for the rest of us, most of the stuff we shoot, you know, you do longer takes than you need. You do multiple takes. You do extra coverage. Even in, you know, entire scenes can get removed sometimes. So, you know, I did Ten Num in a B-wing, and that was all entirely completely cut from Return of the Jedi. Even in the last movies, the last trilogy, there's lots of scenes I did that were cut and weren't used, entire scenes, especially as stuff gets rewritten and they put the edit together and reshoot things. So yeah, I mean, that's normal. Let's see. What was it like, Dorian? What was it like being a giant deadly plant in Little Shop of Horrors? We'll put that one to Mike Edmonds. Yeah, Mike can answer that one. What was it like, Mike? Actually, Mike's going to sing as a song now. Frank Sinatra, right?
Yes.
Your voice is beautiful. What was it? My Way, isn't that what you're saying? Yeah. Nice, very nice. Thank you, Mike. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Yes, it was. Yeah, that was hard, wasn't it? The plant was hard.
It was physically hard work. Yeah, I think everyone sort of hurt part of their body at some point as a full-time physiotherapist, just trying to keep everybody functioning. But yeah, Mike and I, we were as Frank often would do, and Jim would often do, would put us together on the character. We were upper lip and lower lip together.
Yeah,
so.
And we rehearsed for months, didn't we? I think, or at least it seemed like we rehearsed for months. And I think we got it down to some good muscle memory there, actually. But you know, looking at it now, I can, you know, it's only in more recent years I can fully appreciate that film and what Frank did, you know, with it and stuff. So I was too close at the time, I think. But you know, it's such a great film to watch now, and I love the way he put all his shots together, and it's such a great film. Oh, Paul thinks Mike Edmonds was singing "Strangers in the Night." See, that's the quiz we should have had. We should have had Mike sing a song, and we should have guessed what the song was, and then the winner could have won a prize.
That's much better idea.
Yeah, that's much more fun. But there we go. Best memories of working with Jim Henson, Mark asks. Do you have any falls? Yes, we had lots of falls, Janice. So yes, memories of Jim. So many, right? I mean. I know Jim loved Mike and what he did, and you know, very, very much appreciated Mike's work for sure. Jim was like that though. You know, he sort of saw everybody for their specialty and what they could do, and brought that out of them. Yeah,
he would always try and create a creative environment to get the most out of the talent, and that was very sensible, because that was his key to success, is enabling the people around him to contribute to the overall project. So he made it just a great place to be. So
yeah,
he was very very generous and very nice.
Let's see. Someone, who was it? Mark? Was it a Mark? I think. Yes, Mark Dixon's asking about working with Terry Gilliam, which I didn't do, but you guys did.
Yes. Well, Mike worked with him for a number of times, particularly Time Bandits. Yeah. I wish he could speak. That would be wonderful to hear it. Yeah.
So we'll just call you Harpo from now on.
Yes.
Give me a little honk. A honker. Honk, honk, honk.
Yeah. Honk. For me, I came in to help special effects supervisor Richard Conway. We'd worked with him on Little Shop of Horrors, and so I knew him, and so I came out to help some stuff out. And Terry was really supportive in all the puppet stuff that we did, and really liked it, and was sort of rubbing his hands and enjoying the stuff that we were doing. So he liked us bringing in the characters. So, but it was really a crazy production, because they were trying to make something that no one had tried to make before. I mean, the expectations on all the art department, and the special effects department were enormous. And like things that no one had ever tried before, and no time, and then he would change his mind. So I remember him having meetings with Richard Conway and saying what he wanted, and then they'd turn up on the day and Richard has built it, and he said, no, I don't want that, and he said, you have to change it on the spot. So it's like, wow, it was a stressful show for Richard, but he did some amazing work on it. So,
I see.
but Gilliam was always happy for the puppeteers. So.
Yeah. Well, that was 80s. It was still 80s, wasn't it?
87,
yeah. So,
88, yes.
Okay.
88.
Yeah, what a fantastic decade. Katie DeHay is saying that Peter Mayhew always sung My Way. As in, sung the song My Way, not sung the way I would sing. Yes. So I can actually see Peter doing that, actually. Yeah. So let's see. Just making sure there's nothing else major that we need to. David Bowie. How was David Bowie to work with? Yeah, he was all right, wasn't he? Good laugh. Very relaxed.
Oh, he was a sweetheart. Yeah, and I remember the very first day that he was on set with all the goblins, and he took, because of course in England. For those who are looking at this not in England, there's always a pub inside the studio. Or a bar. So at the end of the day, we went to the Elstree bar, and he bought all the puppeteers around. So he bought me a pint of Guinness. That David Bowie did. So that was wonderful.
Wow, a pint, nice. Yeah, he was just very normal, really, wasn't he? I mean, that's my feeling on him, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, he all the big stars used to have their security guards, their entourage, and everything. He just drove himself into Elstree Studios as though he was one of the crew. I mean, so there was none of the big sort of, he's this huge megastar, which he was. But he was, again, just very down to earth and very nice.
Agreed. Let's see. Well, we're getting, we're at the top of the hour. We've been going for a whole hour now, which normally I go for 2, but I feel that I should let you guys go. And I don't want to overstay my welcome or anything. But let's see. So just one last time. For those of you that are desperate to get this classic, amazing 1 of 100 signed pictures, here's the URL again, and I'll probably link to it from the various comments and chats and things anyway, and I've sent a lot of you an email already about it, so you'll be tired of hearing about it, but it'll only last a week and then you'll all be left in peace again. Let's see. And just in case some of you missed it, it's this guy, in case you tuned in late. So that's what we have. We have 100 of those, and Mike, this is fresh off the pen, off the Sharpie. This is, Dave you signed yours a week and a half ago in Chicago when I was there, didn't you?
That's right, yes.
And then I did mine as soon as I got back here to the UK, and then Mike just did this an hour ago, I think. Like it was literally 2 days ago or something crazy like that. So this has been a nice fast turnaround, but I wanted to get them all done and ready before telling you about them. That way I can get them out in the mail to you sooner, so and you haven't got to wait and all that kind of thing. So there we go. And in case anything went horribly wrong, but it's all good. So there it is. And no, not that one. That's a mistake. Go away. All right, go away. So there we go. There you have it. So I guess I'll leave it there for now. But let's give it up to our 2 wonderful guests, Dave and Mike.
Thank you. And great seeing you, Mr. Edmonds. But and I'll see you in a couple of weeks in Birmingham.
Oh, that's what Mike needs. Yeah. Every time he speaks, we'll just go. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, hello. Mike's been on the beer again.
Yeah. Too many margaritas.
Well, look, have a fab time in Birmingham in a week and a half or whatever it is, guys.
Right.
And I'll see you all soon, I hope. Very soon at a show or an event, or you can all come round to my place and sleep on the sofa and stuff. We'll tell ghost stories. It'll be great, right? Have a sleepover. How fun would that be? I'm sure Mike can't wait for that. Like, where's the dancing girls? I don't know. So anyway,
Yeah.
and look, anyway, thanks guys so much for showing up for this for me and for your adoring fans, and also thank you everybody looking at all the chat here and everyone that showed up on the chat. And I'll go through and make sure that I probably missed a whole bunch of stuff, and apologies for that. But I've been glancing at stuff as it's been coming through. But anyway, thanks very much. And of course, may the force be with you and all that good stuff. And I guess we'll do this again soon. But take care for now, and I'll see you all at... no, I won't see all of you at a show. I'll see some of you at some shows over the next month or two. And the rest of you, I won't, because you won't be there. It's fantastic. There's a logic there somewhere, isn't there? All right.
Yeah.
Lots of love, and over and out. See you later. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.